On the other hand, what's the problem with diversification? Well, first of all, the problem with diversification is selling the winner to buy the losers. And the second problem with diversification is you're not really diversified at all because everything you own is probably correlated to one currency, which is collapsing. So let's deal with them one at a time. You should be diversified. Lots of people say that. A lot of times the people that say that to you want you to give them your money, right? It's like I'm a hedge fund manager, and so I'm going to stand up and tell you need a broadly diversified portfolio of like international equities and domestic equities and like some of these commodities, and it changes all the time, and it's very complicated. It's too complicated for you to figure out, so you just give me your money. I'm going to charge you a 2% fee, keep 20% of the upside, and I'm going to invest it in this hyper-complicated array, diversification of stuff, right? I'll give you a simple idea. Go buy Bitcoin. Don't give me anything. I don't want your money. I don't want the 2%. I don't want 20% of the upside. And Bitcoin is a diversified index of the entire world economy, and certainly the crypto economy as it comes to its senses. You can believe one thing or the other thing. You can imagine if you're in the business of managing people's money, the last thing you want to do is tell them the answer is just buy this one thing and hold it for 100 years. How do I make money off of that? Right? On the other hand, what's the problem with diversification? Well, first of all, the problem with diversification is selling the winner to buy the losers. And the second problem with diversification is you're not really diversified at all because everything you own is probably correlated to one currency, which is collapsing. So let's deal with them one at a time. If you own Apple stock in the year 2010, a mutual fund manager or a hedge fund manager would tell you he's going to diversify you because when Apple stock doubles, he's going to sell some of that so he can buy some HP or some Dell or some other IBM or some other computer company. And when Apple doubles again, he's going to sell some more to keep you diversified in the computer sector because he wouldn't want you to have too much exposure to Apple. The problem with that is that at one point, Apple became 150% of all the profit in the entire mobile phone industry. That is to say, the winner eats everybody. Not only does it eat everybody, everyone competing against Apple is losing money to compete against Apple. So you're selling the winner to buy the losers. You're going to sell Facebook to buy the newspapers. You're going to sell Google so that you can buy every company competing against Google. You're going to sell Amazon to buy the other retailers. Amazon won. Walmart almost kept up. 15,000 retailers lost. Right? And why is that? Well, it should be pretty obvious why it is right now. When you have a dominant digital monopoly, the digital monopoly eats everything else, and Apple Computer is the most valuable company in the world because Apple Computer is literally the most valuable company in the world. They can ship a product to 1 billion people over the weekend for a nickel, and their competitors can't. So selling the winner to buy the loser is an awful strategy. The only people that made money in the stock market in the last decade were the people that owned FANG. They owned Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Google, Microsoft. There's no diversification here at all. So if you're investing in a stable currency, you have to keep in mind that digital monopolies are dominant and they crush everything else, and everything else goes to zero. So the only
everything else goes to zero.
Name another retailer you'd rather own than Amazon.
So you're saying Ethereum's going to go to zero?
What I'm saying is that Ethereum's a different subject. We can talk about it in a bit. What I'm saying is if you're a conventional investor, the winners tend to crush the losers by far. And so diversification of selling the winner to buy the losers is not a good idea. You know.